What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Overwatch League Report. I'm your host, Timur, filling in for Brian, but I am joined today by
And I'm
Brian.
Brian, filling in for Ben.
Yes, Ben was a little bit busy this week. We're also a little bit late on the episode, but Brian, I wasn't expecting you to.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's been a wild ride the last month. It's really easy to get into Mexico without a passport. Almost impossible to get out of Mexico back to the United States without a
mm,
passport. So I've been stuck in Mexico for like 3 months, but it wasn't all lost, as you may have heard. I
yes,
started an Overwatch team while I
yes,
was there.
yes. You were tight.
It
You were.
was the only thing I knew how to do.
Yeah, you were sending me emails, giving me updates
Mhm.
about your now infamous team, the Tijuana Tigres.
Yes.
Uh,
Um,
so how did that come about?
wow. So, I was really down on my luck. I was actually living in a GameStop, which are actually thriving down in Mexico. Not
Hmm,
so much in
interesting.
America, but yeah. So, real big presence. And they were running a Overwatch tournament, and I was there, scouting, living in the GameStop, one in the same, really. I'd like to think. And, I just saw it in my head, just put this team of ragtag group together and started just running up, tournaments and things. Things are going pretty great, honestly.
Wow, really? What did your team consist of? I remember you sending me an email about running a
Mhm.
six team of sombras, just six sombras,
Yeah.
and that.
So my thinking was, if they can't see you, can't kill you. So forgot that it's not no limits, and people had to play things other than Sombra. That was bad, obviously. But when you have a team of all Sombras, the person playing Sombra is going to be the best Sombra there is.
Right.
They're the Sombra.
I heard that you arrived at the first tournament and quickly realized that you could not run six sombras at the same time
Mm.
and had
Yeah,
to improvise.
yeah. No, I learned a lot of things. Learned that if you scream about how unfair the rules that were clearly laid out, no one will care. Um, which is a big shock to me. Didn't thought I could just make it happen. Couldn't make it happen. But we rallied. We ran 6 DPS because who needs healers? Was repping my boy Corey. Modeled the team after Corey's Widow. So we ran Widow, Hanzo, um, May, just pretty much anyone who's annoying. Sombra, of
Okay,
course,
gotcha.
Bastion, and
No
Reaper.
tanks, no tanks.
No tanks, no healers.
Okay.
Didn't need them. No one was prepared for this. My team least of all, but we made it work. And
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I read it in the paper. You guys actually you won. I mean, granted your the enemy team was a bunch of like 9-year-olds from Tijuana, but I mean, you
yeah,
pulled it together and ended up coming out of with a win.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, a win's a win. You only play who's in front of you. You only play who's on the schedule. Can't can't schedule different teams. So my team they just ran over them. The El Tigres, best team ever, should probably be in Overwatch. Um, yeah, but obviously I don't own them anymore.
Yeah, yeah, that was the unfortunate news that you sent me about 2 weeks ago. You did
Yeah,
lose them in a betting a poker
yeah,
match.
yes. So I cards on the table, no pun intended. Don't understand poker at all. And we started off one hand. I said I'm all in because that's all I've ever seen in movies. And they said, "You haven't even looked at your cards yet. Are you sure you want to be all in?" And I was like, "Yeah, buddy, I'm sure." And just for that, I'm putting my Overwatch team on the table too. So I had a 2 and a 3 off suit, um, and I
Yeah.
lost
And
as usual.
who was it you lost them to again?
Mark Cuban. So Mark Cuban
Mark Cuban.
owns owner of the Mavericks.
Mark
On
Cuban
it
strikes
might
again.
be, yeah. He's not only a shark on the Shark Tank, he's also a shark in underground Tijuana poker matches, as I found out.
I think that's kind
But
of
he did,
predictable, but
yeah, he did feel bad for me, and he gave me a lift back to the U.S. Only to Dallas. I had to walk the rest of the way,
back to Boston.
which was yeah, that was tough. But I got home just this weekend, just in time to see my boy Corey win a game against the Titans. I won't say single handedly. Other people have said single handedly. I won't say single handedly. But Corey single handedly beat the Titans. So we should definitely talk about that.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's something we can definitely get into. But I will say I am glad to have you back in the United
I'm
States.
glad to be back.
And
Yeah.
I mean, it's too bad about your team, but I don't know if it
Mm.
would have worked out in the long run without any tanks.
Yeah. I still get to sell the merch though. I made that deal with.
Nice.
Well, we'll see how he feels about it when we sell the merch. I won't say that I made a deal, but
Well, I did hear that
yeah,
you bought a real tiger.
yeah.
So
He didn't make it. He didn't make it. It's just too far of a walk for a tiger. So
yeah, there were
yeah.
pictures of you trying to ride him
Mhm.
across
Well,
Texas.
you get tired after a while on the Texas heat. Like about like 30 minutes after I got dropped off, I got pretty tired and tried to ride the tiger. I'm a big guy. The tiger got real tired, and well, the tiger died. So
Well,
it's tough.
rest
It's
in
tough,
peace.
but
Rest in peace, Choopy.
yeah, that's the yeah. So, but that's life. Sometimes you create an Overwatch League team from scratch. You lose it all in a poker game to Mark Cuban, and your tiger dies on the walk from Texas to Boston. And that's just classic scenarios.
Hey man, that's Overwatch League, or I guess minor leagues
Yeah, yeah, that's the Overwatch League for sure.
in a nutshell. I mean, that's what we're
Mm,
all. Anyways, we should actually talk about the real Overwatch League,
mm,
because this was a insane week. We saw a lot of these lower tier teams
yeah,
beat these like really high tier teams,
mm,
namely Washington Justice coming out ahead in both of their matches and beating the Vancouver Titans, as Brian mentioned
yes,
earlier.
yes.
This is
I
insane,
can
dude.
finally wear
Like,
this with pride.
exactly.
So everyone
Um,
knows I'm a Boston fan first and
mm,
foremost. But I did write for the Game House covering the Justice. It was very hard because they were very, very awful, except for Corey, who's good. But now the meta shifted, and look at them to more they have not lost yet.
I know, and I forget. I think it was it Sinatra? One of the players in the league made a
Mhm.
prediction that they were going to go and win all of their games this season. This what do you call it? This stage, and like honestly, after they beat the Titans,
Yeah,
it's like that is completely doable. Like they are looking so
yeah.
strong. It feels so
They
weird
not
to
only
say.
beat them, they 4-0'd them.
Exactly.
First team to 4-0 them. And then the next game, for the first time ever, someone 4-0'd the Excelsior. So what is happening? I mean, we all long-standing tradition. We love the Hunters. Obviously, everyone
Hmm.
loves the
Hmm.
Hunters. They're a lovable bunch. They were the one team that was like, no, we're not playing goats. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Before it was 2-2. So
Yeah.
to see them beat New York, even though obviously like we don't have any hate for New York, it's just like this is crazy times more.
Yeah, I mean, what is it that I mean? I feel like the one thing that we can all kind of point to is really the 2-2-2 lock. I mean, that's really the big
Yes.
change. But this is like
Mm-hmm. It's like they reset the league.
it is. It is. It's like all these like teams that were, the standings are like really shifting all of a sudden. And I mean, we were kind of talking about this before we started rolling. This is like this would never happen in like real
No.
sports, right? This is like totally strange and such an esports thing to do, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it's right. So it's like if you're a traditional sports player, it's like football at week 12 out of 16. They're like, hey, throwing the football? I don't think so anymore. We're going back to just running the football. You can only run. I know the whole league for the last like 20 years has been all about passing. No more, just running. Good luck. And so it won't really affect like who makes the playoffs at the top end, but some of these like last few spots of the playoffs are going to be probably changed because they decided to shift the meta like at the very last second. It's so odd.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, even like a team like Florida Mayhems, who in my mind they're
The
like the worst team in the
worst,
league.
yeah.
They beat London, obviously the reigning champions from last season,
Yeah.
in a 3-0 match, and it wasn't even
Mm.
really that close, which is like insane.
Mm. Yeah, they put in their backup team, and the backup team also beat London in the last map. So I don't know, Timur. I don't know.
I don't know either,
We're
honestly.
gonna like watch the most sloppy playoffs of all time, and it's gonna be. I bet like Philly's gonna win like this year because of like Carpe is gonna like carry them in this new meta or something
Yeah,
bizarre like that will happen. Whereas
yeah,
like Vancouver and San Francisco have been so dominant, and not that San Francisco isn't still good, but and not that Vancouver isn't still good, but like this kind of meta allows for like just anyone could win any game. It feels like that, anyways.
yeah. I mean, even it's like San Francisco played the LA Gladiators this last
Mm,
week, and it was a very close game. San Francisco did win, but
mm,
it was really so close that it could have gone either way.
right.
And LA Gladiators, they have been doing very well lately, and they did beat Chengdu Hunters earlier last week. But yeah, it's like it's so unpredictable at this point. But I really was happy to see Philly come out ahead in both their matches, even if they were quite close, because this is like
Mm,
obviously they were in the finals last season, and it's like I think we were both there. Me personally, I was kind of rooting for them because they were
mm,
like the American team over London,
right.
and just all of the players are so strong and like such
Mm,
likable guys that
yeah.
I'm always rooting for them. But this season they've
Mm,
just been like kind of coming out at the bottom of like the
yeah.
league, unfortunately. So I was really happy to see them win both their matches this week.
Yeah, and so just update on the Gladiators and now the Los Angeles Big Geese. I don't know if you saw that.
Was this a
Twitter,
meme?
they changed their logo. I put it in the Discord chat. They changed their logo to a goose.
That's
I
appropriate.
don't know if they're gonna keep it, but one can hope.
One can hope. Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean, obviously Philly was much better in the dive meta than they were in the goats meta.
Mm.
And 222 seems like it's going to be quite similar to a dive meta. So, hey, I mean, I just kind of threw them out there because of Carbe, flashy. But I mean, DM on the Dragons is just as good. And D'ing obviously on fair. That's not going to stop. And yeah, the Dragons lost to the Defiant this week because, yeah, any given
Yeah.
game these days. But I still think the Dragons have a good shot
Yeah,
at
definitely.
potentially being like the dark horse champions when this is all said and done.
Yeah, and I'm actually rooting for that even more so than like San
Oh, that'd be
Francisco.
hype as hell. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
like you
Well, we're
mentioned.
going again this year. So
Yep.
Anthony, we got to get some dragons like swag
Yeah,
to
definitely.
rock.
I'll get like a DM jersey or something. I think
Yeah. That'd
DM
be
is
awesome.
perhaps an even stronger widow than Carpe.
Mm,
As much as I love Carpe, I do think
right. Yeah.
DM's just like such a beast, and Ding obviously such a strong Pharah. Um,
Mm,
but it's surprising to me also that neither of these players were in the MVP selections this year.
okay. Yeah. Have you
We
guys talked about that yet? Have you had time to go
Yeah,
deep into it? That is such a disgrace. The way
yes.
they're doing this is so dumb.
Yeah, me and Ben talked about it a little bit last week, and it's just strange how they only had three teams total in, between the five players. And
Mm,
so after looking at, some of the numbers this week, it looks like Snatcher will take it. He's like about like 40 to 41% he's in the lead right now. I think in second is like Super with like 19 or 18. So it's looking pretty strong in favor towards Sinatra with which I think is definitely deservedly so. But to bring it back to the point we're making, it's such a strange group of people to put in there that I feel like it could have been more diverse.
Oh yeah, they should have had at least like if they're gonna do 5 players, 5 different teams represented. Like
Yeah,
yeah, like we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how this last stage is gonna play out. We don't know how, you know, for Twilight are gonna perform. We don't know if like dominant forces that they were in the GOATS meta. So to have the MVP of the season based on is dumb to me. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, it's even like you look at Super, who like hasn't been playing super consistently now that the 2-2-2 lock is in effect. So it's like it wouldn't make sense even for them to nominate him if this had been the norm throughout the entire season.
Yeah.
It goes back to even just like the comparison to real sports with like if you just change all of the rules, what's the norm anymore, and like what do you base things off of? Yeah, so it is definitely a bit strange, but I think having Sinatra be the MVP still kind of it's okay in my head at least, just because he's such a strong player, and so because he's been focusing on Zarya, I think he can easily go back to playing DPS if he put some more time into it, and he would be a very strong DPS player on the team. But
I mean, if nothing else, for me as someone who likes playing Zarya, I get to buy a cool Zarya skin when the MVP, skin comes out next year.
yeah,
That would be fun, but I missed out on the Jonak one. I'm so sad.
um,
And
it's a really cool one.
really cool. But yeah, I mean, well deserved for him, obviously. Hey, that's part of the perils of fan voting in terms of like I know the NFL Pro Bowl has a similar issue where it's like just like the most popular, biggest names tend
Mm,
to make the Pro Bowl, even though there's other players who perhaps have superior seasons, but they're part of smaller fan bases. And that's what's always kind of bugged me about the Pro Bowl since they switched over to a taking away from just coaches voting to now coaches and, regular average Joes who are just going to vote
mm.
for, you know, the most popular players every time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So maybe they'll change things up next year. I mean, I do think the changes that they're making for next year are actually going to be really helpful as far as like
Mm,
just more pride as far as like cities and people's like
yeah.
fandom to their teams, because like as it is right
Mm,
now, you're a Boston fan. I'm like somewhat of a New York fan, but like
mm,
and I was like a Paris fan for a little while, but it's like you
right.
don't really get a like an attachment to a team
Right.
until it's like, oh, they're playing locally and they're
Mhm.
yeah, you would
Yeah.
identify with them.
Yeah, I hope one of the things that we can do next year is make content around, going to some games. And because, you can come to Boston, I can go to New York like some
Hmm.
weekends, and we can like figure out whatever homestands they have, however they're doing it with their confusing like schedule. But yeah, I think while I don't love how this like last stage is like changing the rules of it, I think there's a lot of excitement going forward for the league.
Yeah, definitely agree.
One thing I did want to ask, have you been playing any of the Rolock queue on the PTR?
I have, yeah, a little bit, and I was like it was surprisingly pleasant to see my
Mm,
SR raise when I would like, because I'm usually a
right,
tank player, so I would
yeah.
play just specifically tank, and I was like almost
Mm,
platinum, which I was like, oh,
right, yeah,
this is
yeah.
awesome. I'm usually like low
This is
gold
like
to
your
silver.
right. This is your actual role.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's really
No,
validating.
I think it's awesome. I cannot wait for it to come into the real,
Mm,
game. I think we had an experience this weekend where we won like 10 games in a row and then stuff was going great. And then we just got bad teammates and they
hmm.
just like catered back down, cratered,
Yeah.
not catered. And so I hope that the Roll Queue will avoid those types of situations where it's like, all right, guys, what do you want us to play? We'll play anything, but like, just let us play what we're good at, you know?
Yeah, I do think that's going to help a lot, because even like with being queued more close to platinum, I even noticed like, the DPS and the healers are just they were a lot stronger than when
Mm,
I was like
yeah.
technically whatever like a 1900 to like
Mm,
2000
right.
player playing with like DPS that were probably even like lower level than that. You have to like kind of make the
Mm,
adjustments accordingly.
yeah.
But yeah, so it's like nice to play with people at your specific rank. It makes everything more
People can
even.
actually hit the shots, is what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
Oh man. So yeah, good things are coming not only for the Overwatch League, but also for the game as a whole. I feel like there's going to be a resurgence. If Minecraft can come back in the way that it's come back, Overwatch
we just need
can.
like a big like streamer or like a YouTuber to like pick it up. you
I
know.
heard Shroud's been playing a little bit of Overwatch lately. Maybe that's the intro.
Wow. Damn.
Could
Well,
see. Yeah, he got
or even
tired of
like yeah.
Apex, I guess. Now, it's funny though because there's so much that goes into being a good Overwatch player that like I heard he's just like in platinum because obviously his aim's super good, but he doesn't like know like
Yeah,
how to play Overwatch.
that makes
So
sense. Yeah.
interesting. I'll be interested to see if he can like get to Grandmaster, like learn the game. But
I think yeah. Yeah, if he puts in the time for sure, his
mm,
aim is like incredible. But
yeah,
even like someone like Donkey, like if he made another like
mm,
Overwatch compilation sort of comedic
yeah,
video, like I do think that would even like bring people back, or even just reinvigorate people's interest in the game.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping that this implementation of 222 will help maybe lapsed content creators get back into it. I know
Mm,
like people are always pulling for like Tim the Tap Man to return because he was such a
mm.
big name. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. We will see. And yeah, I mean, definitely stay tuned to our channel because we will be doing a lot more Overwatch content as well as other things like Let's Plays and podcasts.
Mhm.
And yeah, we actually just.
We started a new channel because growing one channel is not stressful enough.
Exactly. So now we have a second channel for specifically for podcasts. So we have like a fantastic set of podcasts coming out. Brian, maybe you should talk about those a little more because you're kind of the producer behind those.
We have Better Radio, which is Liam and I just talking about our lives, just telling fun stories. And then we have Brian and oh no, it's actually Wicked Good Show. I'm so used to saying Brian takes on the world. So it's a new name with a new channel, Wicked Good Show. It's more designed the logo. Maybe it can be on screen right now. I don't know. I'm not editing, so it's out of my hands. But, yeah, so it's going to be the same thing, covering television and movies, and Laura will be joining us more often to talk about Quentin Tarantino and just generally like really good classic films. And then hopefully the Vampire Slayer podcast coming out at some point, maybe around Halloween, maybe not, who knows. And yeah, we go subscribe there and definitely subscribe to this channel and maybe follow us on Instagram because we got some Overwatch themed stuff happening there soon. Don't want to spoil it, but it's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
And Mark, I'm gonna get my fucking team back. You wait.
Okay,
You
Brian. Okay.
no.
All right. I think we should end the show here. Thank you for watching,
So
and Mark Cuban, why'd you do it?
how could you?